Haribol, Satyabhama, Vedavati.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, सादर प्रणाम।
Haribol,
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
हरे
Oh,
कृष्णा माता जी।
Haribol. Oh, it's so nice to see so many of you again. I know I haven't been on a Sangha since Bhishma Panchaka challenge, which was, yeah, almost like 2 months ago. Time really does fly. I'm so happy that you all joined. And as you probably saw, today is our last festival Sangha of the year 2025. So then that's why I thought that it would be really nice if we could try to set the mood and goals, like intention, like our heart goals for the year 2026. So, how is everyone feeling today? Maybe you can put on the chat box or you can put a reaction. Okay, we got a thumbs up. Excited. Okay, amazing. I'm happy to hear that everyone is like feeling, yeah, had a good day today. And don't worry. And even if you didn't have such a good day, hopefully in this Sangha, then you'll feel better. So today we're going to learn about a very important personality. We're going to learn about Dhruva Maharaj because he shows us how he was so determined. So then we're going to talk a little bit about him. So let me just share my screen. Second. Okay. Okay, everyone can see my screen. Okay, you can give a thumbs up. Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, so here we have our little Bhakti kids ready for the new year. So as usual, this is our general schedule for our sanghas. We're going to start off with chanting one round of japa together. We're going to recite a shloka from the Nectar of Instruction. Then we'll learn about Dhruva Maharaj and hear story, do a craft, and play a game. This is the first time we're going to play this game in the sanghas, and we'll have it like into breakout rooms in different groups. So this will be really fun. We'll have a quiz and then a reflection exercise. Okay, so who would like to start off by reciting Srila Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra? Vedavati, do you want to? Okay.
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी इति नामिने।
Can you read?
Mataji,
Yeah, the
should I
chant.
read the translation?
Yes, please.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at His lotus feet.
Haribol? Oh, sorry, I think my internet was unstable. Did I freeze?
No.
Oh, okay.
Should I read the translation again?
No, I think if you read it already, I think everyone heard. I think it was just my internet. Okay. Can you do the next part of the pranam mantra?
Mataji,
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini. Oh, you're not showing your screen anymore, Mataji. Also, Mataji, you're on mute.
Yes, sorry, my internet, something's happening. Okay.
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Nishadharane. Our respectful obeisances are unto you, our spiritual master, servant of Saraswati Goswami. You are kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya and delivering the Western countries which are filled with, impersonalism and voiceism.
Thank you so much. Now we can all chant together. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. So I offer my respectful obeisances unto Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas Thakur, and all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Okay, so now if everyone can get your japa bags, your japa mala. If you don't have, don't worry, you can just chant along, and we're going to be showing on the screen 108 times. And this is really special. We have Maharani Mataji put extra effort into making like each picture like really, really beautiful from our different drawings from our books. So you might, if you have seen our books, you might recognize some pictures. Okay, so I hope everyone's ready. Yeah? Okay, just gonna unmute everyone. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita
Shri Advaita
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
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 Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Ram Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Haribol, can everyone hear me? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so for today's class, there are 3 learning objectives. So 3 main things that we're going to learn today, be able to do by the end of this class. So we're going to learn about the story of Dhruva Maharaj from the Srimad Bhagavatam. We're going to describe what is the importance of being determined. determination is a very important value in Krishna consciousness. So why is it important not only in our lives, for school and for our friendships and at home, but also why is it important in our spiritual life? And we're also going to set a spiritual goal for the next year. So who could tell me in how many days is the new year coming up? So today's the 27th. How many more days? You can point your hands, your fingers on the camera. How many more days till the 1st? Yes, 4 days. Okay, so we have just a few days left so that we can just try to meditate a little bit. I personally really like New Year's because I know that there's New Year's, like in Bengal, it's in April. So, but also we're just gonna celebrate New Year's on the 1st of January. So then I usually like to, sometimes we get a little bit lazy in our spiritual lives, or so sometimes it's nice to have like a day, like, oh, okay, from Gorpurnim Day, I'm going to chant one more round than I usually do. I'm going to start chanting this many rounds, or I want to read one shloka a day, so something like that. So we're going to think about that. Okay, so now we're going to learn a shloka from the Nectar of Instruction. So the Nectar of Instruction was translated by Srila Prabhupada, but Srila Rupa Goswami, he wrote the Sri Upadeshamrita, and he compiled these different shlokas with the translation and the commentary. Okay, so can I have a volunteer to repeat after me? Even though everyone is going to repeat, just for the video, one person. Okay, Satyabhama. Okay. Utsahan nischayat dharyat.
उत्साहनिश्चयादार्यात्
Tat karma pravartanat.
तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात्
Sangatyagat sato vrite.
सङ्गत्यागात् सतो वृते
Sadbhir bhakti prasidhyati.
साद्भिर्भक्ति प्रसीद्यति.
Okay, thank you. What about anyone else wants to give it a shot? Okay, Pavika. Utsahan nischayat dharyat.
Ushchaya nishchayadharya
Tat karma pravartanat.
tattar karma panartava
Sangatyagat sato vrite.
sangita tatsayo vete
Sadbhir bhakti prasidhyati.
satpir bhakti um
Prasidhyati.
prasidhyati.
Okay, good. Okay, one more. We need one more person. Okay, Vedavati. Yeah, I can see your eyes are like, please, please pick me. Utsahan nischayat dharyat.
Utsayan nischayadaryat.
Tat karma pravartanat.
Tat karma pravartanat.
Sangatyagat sato vrite.
Sangatyagat sato vritte.
Sadbhir bhakti prasidhyati.
Sarvir bhakti prasidhyate.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now, um, Kaushik, do you think you can read this? Okay.
There are 6 principles favorable to the execution of pure devotional service: being enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, being patient, acting accordingly to regulative principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoham, Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna, abandoning the association of non-devotees, and following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of the pure devotional service.
Thank you so much, Kaushik. Okay, so let's get into this verse a little bit more deeply, okay? So this means that Srila Rupa Goswami is saying there are 6 things that will help us so much in our spiritual life. So the first one, it's utsahan, being enthusiastic. So, if we're just chanting around, we're going to the temple like depressed and sad, like, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to do the service. I don't want to do that. Like, you don't feel. Do you think do you think that will make Krishna happy? Or, like imagine you're in your home and every time it's like, oh, okay, now I have to do this. Now I have to do puja. Now I have to do my homework. And you're always like in a sad, like not happy mood. Maybe your parents or your friends or your brother and sister won't feel so like nice that, oh, you're not very happy. Maybe do you even want to do this? Like, imagine you're trying to have a party with your friends, and then they're like, come on, everyone's gonna make different prasadam preparations, and then we're going to play games, and then everyone's excited, and you're just like, oh, whatever. I don't really want to go. I don't want to play, and oh, why do we have to cook? How do you think your friends would feel if you like if you were saying something like that or your mood was like that? Yes, Anwisha.
They might feel like, why is she even here if she don't want to be a part of the program?
Yes, okay. Any other thoughts? Vedavati?
No.
Um, no.
Okay, your hand was raised, so I thought. So yeah, exactly how Wisha said. Like, why are you like, yeah, like it doesn't feel good, right? It's like, oh, somebody's like really bringing down the mood. So then that's why it's so important for us to really be enthusiastic. Like, I want to serve Krishna. I want to chant. I want to learn about him. I want to read. Like, of course, sometimes we have ups and downs, right? It's not like we can always be enthusiastic, always be happy, always be positive. Of course, it's, in the beginning will take some time, but it's important that we really try, we really show our love, and then that will also make Krishna happy and our gurus happy, like that. And also the devotees, like so that, they can be around us. Now the second one is endeavoring with confidence. This means that we really have to try our best. We have to be determined. We have to try our best to serve Krishna. But also at the same time, the third one is we have to be patient. We can't expect that, oh my God, I've been chanting for 2 hours for this, today. And why didn't I see Krishna already? Why didn't he come here right now? Or, um, yeah, so then sometimes we think that, you know, like, okay, I'm doing so much, so immediately we have to see the results, right? Like when you're doing an exam, you're in school for the whole year. You don't just the first time that you do, like, you do the math problems, the first time you learn it, it's not like the first time you get 100%. Sometimes you can, but it usually takes time, right? It takes time to become good at something. If you're learning a musical instrument, the first day you're not going to become a professional musician, right? It will take time. So the same thing in our spiritual life, it's going to take some time. So we just have to be patient, but just keep trying, knowing that of course Krishna is there. So I'll tell you one little story. So there was a sparrow who laid her eggs like next to the shore of the ocean. And then the big ocean waves, they came and sucked up her eggs. And the sparrow was so sad and heartbroken. Like, how could the ocean take away my babies, my eggs? So then, what did the sparrow do? She started to, with her little beak, started drinking up the water of the ocean. And she was thinking, I'm going to dry up the ocean and save my eggs. But everybody was laughing at her. How can this little bird sparrow think that she can dry up the ocean? It's impossible. And they were just laughing at her. But then Garuda came, right? Garuda, he is the carrier of Vishnu. And he came and he heard that, oh wow, this little sparrow is so determined to get her eggs back, her babies back. So I want to help her. So then Garuda came and he told the ocean, he said, I'm going to help this mother sparrow. And then he told the ocean, you have to give up, you have to give her back her eggs. Otherwise, I will dry up. I will dry you up and drink all of your waters. And of course, this is possible for Garuda because he's not ordinary. He's not just an ordinary bird. He is a great, great devotee of the Lord, a great personality. So then the ocean got scared and gave back the eggs. So this story, what do you think okay, what can you learn from this story? Okay, yep, Krishna Lila? I unmuted you. Oh, I don't know what happened. I can't see her anymore. Okay, anyone else? What can we learn from this story about the sparrow? This little bird. Okay, Maheshwari. But why? Why? Okay, why? How does this story show about determination? I think I put on the settings that you can unmute yourselves. So just try to unmute yourself one at a time. Krishnalila, I think you wanted to share something.
No, Mataji, I didn't, sorry.
No? Okay. Okay. So, okay, I'll tell you what this story will tell is teaching us. Okay, somebody wrote, I cannot hear anything. I can only see your video. Can you all hear me? Yes? Okay, okay, great. Okay, so maybe it's something in someone else's settings. So what we can learn from this story about the sparrow is that we might be just little birds, right? But we have to try our best in our spiritual life. We have to be determined. As Srila Rupa Goswami says, we have to endeavor, we have to try our best, and we have to be confident that if I try my best, Krishna and his devotees will surely help me, right? Like if you are going to school and you are trying your best to study, you can be confident that, yes, I'm going to do well in my exams, right? So, in the same way, in our spiritual life, we should also be very confident. And just like Garuda, who's a pure devotee of the Lord, came and helped the little bird, so then we also, if when we try our best, then surely Krishna will send his devotees to help us in our path. And um, And just like the story of Mother Yashoda and tying up baby Damodar, baby Krishna, remember how the rope was short by 2 fingers, 2 inches too short. Does anyone remember what these 2 fingers represent? I remember I said it like many months ago. Who can say? If you remember. Yes, Shruti. Yes. Okay, Maheshwari, our determination and Krishna's mercy. So this means 1 finger means we have to try our best, and 2 means that we need Krishna's mercy. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and share the screen. So we talked about these 3. Now the 4th principle is we have to try our best. How do we follow in the footsteps of our previous acharyas? We have to follow what they did. So we have to chant, we have to hear, We have to remember Krishna. We have to worship the deity. So all these ways will help us in our practice of Krishna consciousness. Okay, so now we're moving on to Dhruva Maharaj. And what is his story? So here you can see little pictures of Dhruva Maharaj. So Dhruva Maharaj is the son of King Uttanapad, and his mother is Suniti. And because back then the kings used to have more than one wife, so King Uttanapad, he had Suniti as his wife and also Suruchi. So Dhruva Maharaj, his mother was Suniti, and he also had a stepbrother who was Uttama. And he was only a 5-year-old boy. But he, like all of you here, are like children or youth. So just because, we're like very young, it doesn't mean that we cannot take our spiritual life very seriously. Because here Dhruva Maharaj was just 5 years old. Is anyone here 5 years old? Maybe you can raise your hand. Do we have any 5-year-olds here? I think I saw Maitili. She looked quite small. Maitili, are you 5? How old are you? She's 4. Oh my God, Maitili is 4.5. Aw. So, yeah, you're like pretty much Dhruva Maharaj's age. And at 5 years old, he was so determined. So we're going to hear about his story. And who did he receive guidance from? From the great sage Narada Muni, from such a pure devotee of the Lord. And he performed intense austerities for 6 months. And he was meditating on the Lord. 6 months of intense austerity, a 5-year-old boy. And through his devotion, through his austerities, then his heart and his whole life completely changed and transformed. Okay, so now let's move on to our one activity, which is setting a spiritual goal. So usually, people, they might set funny goals like, oh, I'm going to do exercise every day so I can be fit. Or I want to learn a new instrument, or I want to learn a new language, or I'm going to, let's see, some other creative ones. I'm not going to eat chocolate for a year. I'm not going to eat any sugar, things like that. But we want to set spiritual goals, right? We want to make our heart, we want to build our heart and make it strong. Okay, so need everybody to have a piece of paper and something to write with? And before we write, we can try to think of some ideas. So you can unmute yourself, you can write on the chat box. Can you think of some ideas for some spiritual goals? It doesn't have to be every single day for I'm going to do this, but just some simple goals. Maybe it could be I'm going to offer flowers to Krishna, or I'm going to chant. Okay, Satyabhama, chant more rounds of japa. What else can we do? Okay, we have chanting. Those are 2 ideas. Arati, okay. Read a book. Sing 1 kirtan every day. Okay, we have lots of chanting suggestions. Very nice. Because that is like the most important one. So for example, if you're chanting already, maybe you're chanting 1 round. So you can say, I want to start chanting 2 rounds, right? Or you have to think of something that is realistic for you. Like maybe you can't say, oh, I'm going to chant 50 rounds every day, because that might not be hard. That will be very hard to do. So, and then you'll feel bad, like, oh, I wasn't able to do it. So try to think of something different ideas that you know that you can do. Like maybe you cannot do full arti every day, but maybe you can um, offer a lamp every day. And then maybe on Saturday, when it's your free day from school, then you can do a full arti and dress and bathe your deities. Okay, let's see other. Listen more about Krishna, do Tulsi Puja, go to temple more often, listen and read alternate days, start book reading, minimize screen time, read one shloka of Bhagavad Gita a day. That's that's really nice. And I feel like it takes even less than 1 minute to do that. Reading, offer flowers to Gopal. Okay, yeah, okay, wonderful. So we have some really nice ideas here. So try to think what goal would you like to do start from this new year? Even if it's just one goal, and it can be very simple goal, something that you know that you can do. And my one of my suggestions would be if you're like, I'm gonna chant, even if you're not chanting, maybe one day you're chanting 4 rounds, one day you're chanting 1 round, 1 round, one day you chanted 10 rounds, but maybe you could do even just, okay, I'm gonna chant 1 round every day. It just takes like 6 minutes. Like on your way to school, you can even chant 1 round. Or you could say, I want to read the Krishna book. Okay, so then you can write down in your paper, because then you're going to hang it up in your room. Okay, I see you're thinking about it and writing. In school, we work out our brains, and in Bhakti, we're going to work out our hearts. So this is our Bhakti goal. Kaushik, do you have paper? Yeah? Okay. Maithili, you have? Okay, you can just think about it then. Or maybe you can ask your mama to write for you. Okay, can I get a thumbs up if you're ready? Okay, if not, don't worry, you still have more time to write. Okay, step 2. Why is this spiritual goal important to me? How is this goal going to help me remember Krishna and serve Krishna? Because that's why we're doing these goals, right? We're not doing these goals just to, put a check mark. These spiritual goals are to help us to come closer to Krishna. Because remember, we have to be enthusiastic about our goals. Can't be like, oh. Vedavati, are you writing? Do you have a paper, or if you're writing on the laptop, it's also okay? Why is this goal important to you? Okay, now let's go to step 3. So how will you know that you're trying? For example, I want to read the Krishna book. I want to read the Krishna book the month of Jan. Okay, I want to read the Krishna book, and I'm going to read 3 pages a day or something like that. Or instead of saying like, I want to, chant more rounds. What does more rounds mean? 1 round, 2 rounds, 5 rounds, 20 rounds? Okay, you have to put like a number, something that you know that's easy for you to understand if you're able to do it. Or I want to I want to chant some shlokas. How many shlokas? Or maybe instead of saying how many, you could say I'm going to instead of saying I'm going to read 3 pages a day, you could say I'm going to read every day for 10 minutes. Okay? Something like that. So make it really, really specific. Okay, great. Oh, somebody, Vidavati wrote, I want to read Srimad Bhagavatam. This is important to me because I love reading spiritual books and I want to read one chapter. Okay, so the Srimad Bhagavatam is really, really long. So I think one chapter a day will be hard. Maybe you could say you'll read one, you meant one shloka a day? Is that what you meant? Or did you mean one chapter? Like only, oh, the one chapter of the shlokas and the translation, right? Not the whole commentary? Okay, okay. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you can do that. Remember, try to do something that you know that you can do. That'll be easy. Even if it's like a really hard day, you were so busy in school, you had lots of homework, but you're still able to do it. Okay, Vishal wrote, I want to read small book of Srila Prabhupada 20 minutes every day. Okay, that's very specific. Okay, Shini Kanta, Shini Kitana, you wrote chanting every day, but how many rounds or how much time or how do you want to chant? Maybe it's like I'm going to really focus and chant, 4 rounds. Okay. Okay, let's move to step 4. When will I achieve this goal? It depends. For japa, I don't expect anyone to say, "Oh, I'm going to finish chanting in Gaur Purnima, and then after that, I'm not gonna chant." So this one does not apply for japa, but this might, if you're talking about like reading, like I want to read the whole Krishna book by Gaur Purnima. So you have like 3 months, or I want to yeah, just come up with some time. Like I will chant, maybe for japa you can say like, okay, I want to, chant 2 rounds when I wake up, then I want to chant 2 rounds before I go to sleep. So then like that you can try to think your day, how you can actually put this spiritual goal in your life. Because we have to try to create habits. Okay, Kaushik, you want to be able to chant 5 rounds a day by the year ending. That's good. So you want to start so you'll by the end, so now you'll start from chanting, I don't know, 1 round, and then by the end of the year you would be chanting 5 rounds. Is that what you mean? Okay, good. Okay, great. Now step 5 is your prayer to Krishna. So Krishna, please help me to try my best. So you can write a little sentence, a little prayer to Krishna to ask help so that you can do the spiritual goal, because without Krishna, we won't be able to do it. It'll be very hard. Okay. Does anyone want to share their goal, what they wrote? You can raise your hand if you want to. Okay, don't worry, you don't have to. Just if anyone would like to share. Otherwise, we'll move on to story time. Okay. So let's get some volunteers to read. Okay, wait, let me just move this. Okay, Anwisha?
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. Dhruva Maharaj was born as a son of a great king. The king had 2 wives, and he begot children by each of them. One day, while Dhruva's stepbrother Uttama was playing on the lap of the king, Dhruva also wanted to play on his father's lap. We can picture the king, whose name was Uttanapada, seated on the throne in a leisurely moment, in an affectionate mood, with one of the boys on his lap. His boy, Dhruva, who was 5 years old, climbed upon his father's knee, but his father did not receive him with any particular attention or affection. Moreover, Dhruva's stepmother came forward and chastised Dhruva. My dear boy, she said, speaking loudly so that everyone could hear, you cannot sit on the lap of your father. Although you are his son, you are disqualified because you have not taken birth in my womb. Dhruva's stepmother, Suruchi, was the favorite wife of the king, and so he allowed her to speak out, although she was giving pain to his little son. If you want to sit on your father's lap, she went on, you must first worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by penances and austerities, and then in your next life you can take birth from my womb. Then it may be possible. Dhruva burst into tears and ran home, taking shelter of his mother, to whom he blurted out the whole story. My dear boy, said Dhruva's mother, what can I do? Your father loves your stepmother as his favorite, and he does not even consider me. What the queen said was true. You must worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then it might be possible for you to sit on the throne. Dhruva was the warrior class, and therefore very fiery by nature. He wanted to get the kingdom which he deserved as the son of the king, and he would not settle for being reduced and insulted. Who must I see? He demanded. What must I do to get the kingdom? In a passionate mood, the boy was ready to do anything to get what he wanted. But because he was just a little boy, he had to ask his mother what steps to take. His mother answered him wisely, you must worship to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Thank you, Anwisha. Maybe we can have someone else now. Rajashri? Oh, okay. I can't see. Okay. Arya? Okay.
Since both his mother and stepmother had mentioned God, the Supreme Person, as the controller of his fortune, Dhruva intelligently asked about him. Where is he, God? His mother replied that she only knew the saintly persons went to the forest to find him. Thus Dhruva immediately left for his father's city and went to the forest. In the forest, Dhruva inquired from all the animals, Are you God? Are you God? He chatted with the jungle, searching in the only way he understood. Although he knew nothing about spiritual discipline, he inquired from tree to tree and beast to beast as to where God could be found. Because Dhruva had a great desire to be absolute, Narada Muni, the eternal spiritual master who travels in space to all planets in his mission to deliver love of Krishna, appeared before him. According to Vedic scripture, when one is sincerely searching for God or Krishna, Krishna sends that person to a bona fide spiritual master to give instructions how to reach him. The Supreme Lord is in the heart of all living entities, and he directed Narada Muni from within to go and instruct Dhruva.
Thank you. Now maybe Pavika?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Narad was surprised to see how courageous Dhruva was in his demand to see God. He approached him in the forest and said, "My dear child Dhruva, I know of your situation, but you should not take seriously the insult of your father has given. You have come to the forest to find God, but this requires very difficult and austere yoga, which is impossible for you to perform. My advice is that you go home and play. After you grow up, you can try to follow this difficult process." Dhruva could not accept Narad's advice. "I have been insulted by my stepmother," he said, "and I have come to find God to get the kingdom I deserve." Narad had instructed Dhruva not to take the insult seriously, but the boy was stubborn. Narad Muni, being a true spiritual master, is naturally kind and eager to see all souls go back to Godhead. Therefore, he mercifully agreed to teach Dhruva how to find God. Dhruva told Narad Muni, "I want a kingdom not only greater than my father's, but greater even than that of Lord Brahma, the controller of the universe." Narad asked Dhruva to perform the process of yoga known as the Eightfold Path, which begins with the practice of sitting postures and breath control for the purpose of subduing the mind. Control of the mind is necessary for meditation on the transcendental form of the personality of the Godhead. Narada Muni described the form of the Lord. In addition to meditation on the eternal, blissful form of the Lord, Narad also instructed Dhruva to chant the sacred mantra, pray to the Lord, and worship the deity form of the Lord.
Okay, now we can have Shruti.
Mataji. One must act very seriously on the order of the spiritual master, and then there is no anxiety about reaching perfection. Dhruva Maharaj undertook severe penances for 6 months in order to realize God. First month, he ate only fruits and berries every third day, and that only to keep body and soul together. In this way, his worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead began. Second month, Dhruva Maharaj ate only once every 6 days, and he ate only dry grass and leaves. Thus, he continued his worship. Third month, he simply drank water once every 9 days, and he remained completely in trance, worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is adored by selected verses. He had no thought but God. Fourth month, Dhruva mastered the breathing exercise and he would inhale air only every 12th day. Fifth month, controlling his breathing, Dhruva concentrated his mind fully on the Supreme Person and stood on one leg like a motionless column. Sixth month, Dhruva Maharaj became completely absorbed in trance upon Lord Vishnu, Krishna. He suspended his breathing, closed all the holes of his body, and identified so closely with Lord Vishnu in consciousness that when he stopped breathing, the total universal breathing became choked up, and all the big demigods of the world felt suffocated.
Thank you, Shruti. Let's
Hare
have Krishna Lila. Krishna,
Krishna Mataji.
yeah, Krishna Lila, we can't hear you.
Sorry, Mataji.
Oh, okay, yeah. But you have to be louder. We can't hear you.
Okay. The demigods, the powerful administrators of the universe, turned to Lord Vishnu in fear, reported that all breathing in the universe had been stopped. The Supreme Lord assured them that they need not to worry. These calamities are due to the severe austerities and full determination of the son of King Uddanapada. He said, "Who is fully absorbed in thoughts of me and who has obstructed the universal breathing process. You can return to your respective homes and safely. I shall stop this boy from his severe acts of austerity. Lord Vishnu is ultimately independent of the austerities practiced by his devotees. But because Dhruva so much desired to see him, Lord Vishnu went to speak with him."
Okay, Shweta.
Hare Krishna Mataji. And Dhruva, Dhruva engaged his meditation, the form of the Lord in his heart, in which he was fully absorbed, all of a sudden disappeared, just like electric lightning. Being perturbed, Dhruva broke his meditation, opened his eyes, and saw before him the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the very form on which he was meditating. When the vision in his heart disappeared, he thought that he had lost him, but now he saw Lord Vishnu standing before him, and Dhruva felt fault before the Lord. Dhruva wanted to offer prayers and profound respects, but because he was a small boy, he could not adjust himself properly, nor could he even speak. The Lord, however, being situated within everyone's heart, could understand Dhruva's emotions, and out of his mercy, he touched his conscience to Dhruva's head. Upon being touched by the Lord's conscience, Dhruva could finally pray, and he expressed his transcendental sentiments, which are cherished by all devotees. Since he could only speak when given the intelligence directly by the touch of the Lord's conscience, it can be understood that what he said was dictated by the Lord from within. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so here, so we can understand how Dhruva Maharaj, he was so determined to see Krishna that he did so many amazing, like crazy austerities. Okay, who can remember the first month? What did he do? He was only eating
He
something.
fruits, Mataji. He ate only fruit.
He only ate berries. You remember how many?
Yes, Mataji. 3 days.
Yes, every 3 days. Okay. Can everyone find some berry emojis and put it in the chat box? Every 3 days he ate fruits and berries. Okay. What about the second month? What did he have the second month?
Only ate berries every 6 days.
Dry grass.
He ate, yeah, dry grass and leaves every
Dry
6
grass and
days.
leaf, Mataji.
Yes, every 6 days. Okay, can we find some grass emoji? Or some, let's see, do they have some leaves? Yes. Some dry grass and leaves every 6 days. Okay, what about the third month?
He only drank water.
Every how many days?
Nine days. Water.
Yes, 9 days. Okay, can you find a water emoji? Water. Every 9 days. Oh my God. Okay, the fourth month. He would only, well, what was his austerity? The fourth month. Not cookies. He didn't have cookies in the fourth month, Gautam.
Meditating, Mataji. Controlling his breath.
Yes, controlling his breathing. He would only breathe in every 12th day. That's like impossible for us to do. Okay, breathing every 12 days. That means like he only breathed like twice in a month. Okay, fifth month. Okay, I don't know if we can find an emoji for this one, for the fifth month.
Standing on one leg.
Yes, he was standing on one leg. This is the closest thing I found to the yoga position. Okay, and in the sixth month, what happened on the sixth month?
When Vishnu appeared, he held his breath and closed every hole in his body.
Yeah,
And
he
the
just,
universe choked.
yes, okay. I'm so happy to hear that everybody was really, really paying attention. Okay, so these are the amazing, oh my God, crazy austerities. Of course, Srila Prabhupada and Rupa Goswami, they don't expect us to do this because it's definitely not possible for us to do it. But we can just see from how determined he was, right? So I think when we think of Dhruva Maharaj, we can get inspired to do our little spiritual goals. Okay, now I'm going to go back to share the screen, but we're going to do a craft. I need all of you to have, if you have, I mean, paper, something to write with. If you have paint, that would be the best. If you have paint, if you don't, then you can just get colors, which is fine. Markers, color pencils, crayons, anything. Okay, so this is going to be, what we're going to do is we are going to take steps towards Krishna. And here you can see Krishna's lotus feet. And then here are our little footsteps. So what I want you to do is, there's two ways to do this. Either you can, either you can make footsteps by putting your hands in paint, or you can draw the footprints. Okay, let me show you. I did it here. I did this, you know how I did it? I put my fist, I close my hand like this. You can either, if you have paint, you can dip it in paint, and if you like put your fist like this on the paper, it will look like a footprint. Otherwise, you can just trace your hand like this, and this is the shape that comes, and then you just draw five circles on the top. So get a piece of paper, you can draw a few footprints, and then in the end, you can draw Krishna's lotus feet or Krishna's flute if it's too hard to draw Krishna's lotus feet. Okay? Let's try to have at least five. Let's try to have 5 footprints, okay? Yes, you can use any paper. Like, look, I'll just share something here. Like here, this is the. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the volume, but this is something you can do. If you dip your fist in paint, it would be better if the paint is thicker. Then you can do like that. Or I just traced it. I just put my fist like this, and I traced it, and it came the shape. Okay, can I see Kaushik? Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay. So then on the top you can draw Krishna's flute, something that you remember that it's Krishna. And then inside the footprints, how are you going to try to take steps towards Krishna? So you can write the little ideas that you had. Remember, like chant, I want to offer flowers to Krishna, I want to read one shloka Bhagavad Gita like this. And you can color it in, you can decorate it. So it's like you're setting, you can also do like, instead of writing what you're gonna do, you can also say, like, I want to, instead of I want to chant 5 rounds, can be like, when I chant, I want to chant with love, like affirmations. When I want to be enthusiastic devotee. I I want to love and serve Krishna. I want to be a better listener in class, or I want to go to the temple more. You can also write like things that, like your mood, how you want yourself to be in the next year. Okay, yes, Srini Kirtana. Yeah, you can unmute yourself, you can speak. Okay, we can. If anybody has any questions or anything, you can just unmute yourself. Oh, you want to show? Okay. Can I see? Yeah. Okay, very nice. Yes, I saw the footprint. Now you can also write inside the footprint. What is the mood that you want to? How do you want to love Krishna? How will you show your love to Krishna? I'm going to try to be try to be a kinder friend. I want to. Yes, very nice, Kaushik. Chanting, reading. Very nice. You can color it in, you can do something. If you're done, you can put a thumbs up on the chat box. Okay, Mayuri and Sriniketan finished. Okay, let's give like another 5 minutes. Okay, so till 5:50. Yes, Vivek Narasimha, nice. Okay, I saw it before, but now I can't see anymore.
Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay, 1 more minute. Okay, so I hope everyone's finished. If not, maybe you can finish after the Sangha. So I'll just share my screen again. We're gonna play a really cool game. It's the first time that we're actually gonna get into breakout rooms. So there's 25 of us, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to divide everyone into 5 groups, and we're gonna play this game. It's very commonly known as snakes and ladders, but we're gonna make it spiritual. And let me just, okay, can you see it properly? Okay, so this game is snakes and ladders, but we're going to see this as our bhakti journey. Okay, so let's pretend that 100 is Krishna's lotus feet and we are starting at 1. Okay, so this shows that we're gonna have some snakes in our, maybe there'll be some snakes in our life, some things that you're doing, some days that you'll be very, very determined, you're chatting, you're around this, and then maybe you're not having such a good day, you're really, really busy with homework, or or maybe you had like a fight with your friend, so then it'll, maybe your mood will go down, right? You won't be so enthusiastic, so it'll bring you down. You feel like you're doing good. But then there are some days that you meet a pure devotee, you get special mercy, and then you jump up. Like you see here, the ladder, if you roll to 2 and boom, you go up to 23, and then you keep going. So then this just shows how our life is full of ups and downs. It can be like waves, right? But we still have to be determined in our spiritual life, right? So the snakes can be compared to like the anarthas, like the dirty things that we have in our heart. Sometimes it really brings us down. But then the more we clean it, the more we associate with devotees, the more that we'll take steps towards Krishna. Okay? So what you're gonna do is you need to, if you have a dice at home, you can roll it. Otherwise, there is online on, let me show you. You can roll dice online. So for example, let's just say I rolled a dice and I rolled it 5. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me show you here. So then I am gonna be all the way, let me show you. Okay, 5. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, whose turn it? Maybe the next person's turn. They maybe rolled 8. Then they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they go all the way up to 34. So like that, you're gonna each have a turn to roll the dice, and then you have to mark where you're going. Okay? So we're gonna play this for like maybe I'll give you 10 minutes to play the game, and then you see how far you are by the end of it. Okay? Don't worry, this is just for fun. Um, so there's no winners or losers in the game. This is just to have fun and to help us remember that even in the ups and downs, that we should just keep going and be enthusiastic, because eventually, maybe for someone it will take less time. Maybe for another person it will take a longer time, right? But if we keep going, for sure we're going to reach the 100, right? It's not possible that you're never going to reach it, right? So this is the same thing in our spiritual life. We just have to keep going, keep going, keep going. For sure, we're going to reach Krishna's lotus feet. Okay? Everybody understood the game? Yes? Okay. Because then you're not going to know, if you don't know what to do, then you won't be able to ask me because I'm putting you up in breakout rooms. But I just realized will, oh, I don't know if you'll be able to see the screen. Okay, wait a second. Okay. I'm going to have to share it on the chat box first, because then you won't, when I share the screen, you probably won't be able to see it. Okay, so let me just take a screenshot of this. I forgot about that part. Okay, if you're at home and you have a dice at home, that would be great. You can try to get it. If not, you can just roll online. Okay, I'm just sharing. Okay. Oh, I can't share it. Oh, okay, wait.
Mongolia.
Oh, wait, I'm
Tor
trying to figure this out. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. This is the first time I'm trying the breakout rooms. Okay, let me try again. Okay, let me know if you can see this. Are you able to see it? The file? Okay, just zoom it in if you can. Okay, and write on the chat box if you're facing any problem. This is the first time I'm trying out this breakout room. Okay, so I'm putting word 23. Assign automatically. I'm gonna create I'm gonna create 4 breakout rooms. Actually, no, I'll create 5. Rajashri, Anita, Maithili, Krishnalila, you can join your breakout room. You have to press it says a button like join room, so you have to click on that. Okay, I just realized this is not going to work because they cannot share the screen, so we have to all play together. Okay, okay, everyone's joining. You're not able to share your screen, right? Okay. Um, let's do this because, okay, I'm just gonna wait for everyone to join again. Okay, it looks like the breakout rooms didn't really work out because I think you're not able to share your screen. So then let's just all play together. So then what we can do is instead of maybe waiting for everyone to go one by one, it'll take a lot of time. You can just roll for yourself and then see who can get there the fastest. So then you can write on the chat box like, oh, I'm a I rolled I'm number 5, and then like that you can write where you are. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, who want? Okay, look, Shinikitana started. And then just keep rolling, like from 5. Okay, then you roll again, and then if you get 3 more, then you go to 8, and then you go up to 34. Okay, and see, remember if you roll 1, then you keep going up. Okay, from 1 to 5, then if you roll 3, you go to 8, then you go to 34. Then if you roll 2, you go to 36. Remember, so like that, just keep going up. Yes, you're going up a ladder. Okay, great. You can also unmute yourself if you want to talk so it doesn't feel like you're playing by yourself. You can unmute yourselves if you want to. Okay, let's see. Let's see who's going up. Kaushik, you're already at 100? Wow, that was fast. Satyabama, you're 33. Okay. Vedavati also 100. That was very fast. 56, 39. You went up the ladder. Okay. Okay, wow. From 20 to 77. 41. Yeah, okay. Everyone's doing fast. Everyone's doing well. What happened, Satyabhama? Did you go down a snake or up a ladder?
Up a ladder, Mataji.
Okay, good, good. Okay. I should have also played. I want to play also.
Snake and ladderல நான் செகண்ட் ஒரு பையன் வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நான் செகண்ட் இன்னொன்னு பையன் தேர்ட் நான் செகண்ட் ஒரு பையன் தேர்டா வந்தார்
You're in third?
நான் தயசு 2 வயசு போடுறேன் ஒரே வாட்டி 6
சரி இப்ப என்ன பண்ணணும்?
Okay. Krishna Leela, how are you doing, Krishna Leela? What?
Mataji.
How are you? No, not good. I'm saying, how are you doing in the game?
I went down one of the snakes and I have to go back up now.
Oh no. Okay, Kaushik is up. Let's see where Mayuri is. I'm gonna look at the chat box. I see 95, 96, 35, 36. The worst is if you get to 97 and then you go all the way down to 25. So sometimes we might have a big fall down, but then we'll just have to keep going up and up and up. Okay. Oh, but you don't have to roll the dice. Okay, if you go on Google, you can say online dice. And then there, if you search online rolling dice, then there's a like button that you can click. Okay, if you already got to 100, can you put a heart in the chat box? Okay, Anwisha, Gautam, Satyabhama, Kaushik. Okay, giving 3 more minutes for the game.
Mataji, when I was on 62, the snake bit me.
Oh no, 6.
I
Oh, you went all the way to 37.
I had many downfalls on the way.
But it's okay, you kept going and you got there. Okay, just 2 more minutes. Okay. Okay, so I hope everybody had fun playing the game. Now we're just gonna have our final quiz before, yeah, for the last thing of our class today. Okay, so on the chat box, how many months did Dhruva Maharaj perform severe austerities?
6.
6 months.
Okay, yes. Okay, just so that everybody has a chance, you can write in the chat. Which great sage appeared before Dhruva in the forest to guide him? Okay, yes, Narada Muni. Whom did Dhruva ask questions like, are you God in the forest? Okay, yes. To the trees, animals, and beasts. Where did Dhruva Maharaj go in search of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Okay, yep, the forest. What advice did Dhruva Maharaj's mother give him to solve his problem? Yes, to go to the forest and meditate on the Lord. Okay, 6. To whom did Dhruva first go after being insulted in the palace? Yes, his mother. Do you remember his mother's name?
Suniti.
Yes, Suniti. Okay, great. Why did Queen Suruchi say Dhruva was not qualified to sit on the king's lap? Yes, because he was not her son. Okay. Question 8. How old was Dhruva Maharaj when he was insulted by his stepmother and went to the forest and all of that? Yes, super fast. Everyone's writing so fast. Yes, he was just 5 years old. And what was the name of Dhruva's stepmother? Yes, Suruchi. Who was Dhruva Maharaj's father? I think Anvesha, she's reviewing. Somebody wrote Utambala. No, not Utambala. Utapanda. No, not Utapanda. I know that they're just typos. Yes, King Uttanapad. Uttanapad. So yeah, it's a quite difficult name to remember. Okay. And the last question for today is when someone hurts or insults me, where do we usually first go for comfort? You know how Dhruva Maharaj went to his mother? And then the second question is, how can I turn towards Krishna? So I'm going to stop sharing the screen now. And if anyone wants to unmute their mic and share, how can, when we feel hurt and pain in our heart, how can we turn to Krishna? Like, for example, for me, it feels, I feel happy like when I go out on parikrama. So I like to go, and then when I go on parikrama, I feel like my heart feels like more peaceful and happy. Okay, Pavika wrote by chanting the name, by redirecting our anger into a kirtan, an enthusiastic kirtan. Wow, good idea, Kaushik. Anvesha, yeah.
This is something I can tell personally because whenever we feel something, like we feel insulted or someone insults us, we can go to the Lord in front of our deities. We can tell him what happened to us, and then we can also, chant. We can listen kirtan or read Srila Prabhupada's book, because I was told by my senior devotees that Srila Prabhupada is present himself by his small books. So if we read that, we are getting more dear to Krishna, and Krishna will see our pain, suffering, and he'll recognize us when we, do small actions to go closer to him.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Anvesha, for sharing. Very like personal and detailed answer. Any other ideas? Because you know what is so special about Dhruva Maharaj? Even though he was so determined to see Krishna, he wanted to see Krishna because he wanted, wealth. He wanted a palace bigger than his father's. So you could say he was so hurt. He said, I want to get an even bigger kingdom than my father. So actually, that's not the best mood to pray to Krishna, right? Like I want this. That's why I'm going to pray to Krishna. But he was just a little boy, of course, so he didn't understand. But then when the Lord appeared before him and said, "What do you want?" he completely forgot about that he wanted a palace. All of that seemed so small and useless and petty. It's like, I don't want a kingdom. Please, I just want to serve you, my Lord. So that just shows how actually the greatest treasure in the world is service to Krishna. And Dhruva Maharaj he wanted to pray for a huge kingdom. And in the end, he thought, this is all useless. The only thing I want to do is serve Krishna. So everyone here, we have that treasure in our lives. We have the opportunity to pray to Krishna, to worship him, to do kirtan. Not everyone has this. Not everyone in the world knows about Krishna. We're actually one of the very few people that know about Krishna. So this is like very, very special, something that we can learn from Dhruva Maharaj. And also, of course, we should always talk to Krishna in any situation, whatever, if we're sad, if we're angry, we're happy, we should always talk to Krishna. Okay, any other ideas? Last idea before we close the Sangha for the year, and I'll see you next year. Okay, Molly wrote by talking to Krishna. Yes, exactly. Usually when I'm sad, I make a painting of Radha and Krishna. That's really sweet. Yeah, these different things. For everyone, it can be different things that help them. Okay, everyone. So thank you so much for joining today's Sangha. I had lots of fun being with all of you. And I'll see you next year. That sounds very far away, but it's not that far away. So Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Mataji, Krishna Mataji,
Hare
thank you.
Mataji. Thank you so much.
Here.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Thank you. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hari Bol.